Half the men over 60 waking up to pee at night are treating the wrong organ. Half, not some, half. The bladder gets blamed and the prostate gets ignored and the wrong fix gets tried for years. The pill that does nothing, the water cut that leaves you thirsty, the nights that keep breaking. Tonight, you can find out which side of that split you are on, in 90 seconds, standing at your sink. Just you and a watch. No doctor, no test strip, no app, no appointment, no copay. The test is one of the most useful things you can know about your own body after 60, and almost nobody runs it. The men who do sleep through the night within 2 weeks of acting on the result. Some inside a week, some the same night. Here is what you need: a watch with a second hand, a bathroom, and 60 seconds of patience. That is all. No equipment, no prescription, no appointment. I will give you the drain test in 3 steps. I will tell you what each result means, and I will tell you what to do tonight, before bed, based on what your body shows you. Stay with me. Run this men over 60 tonight, before bed, after you have read the steps once already. Run it tonight. That is the order. Step 1. Empty your bladder the way you always do. Do not rush, do not strain. Count to 10 in your head when you think you are done. Stay standing. Hands on the counter, not on the wall. Eyes on the second hand of a watch or the clock above the sink. The watch is your only tool tonight. Step 2. Wait 60 seconds while you stand there with your eyes on the watch, hands still on the counter. No phone, no water, no wandering, no checking the mirror. 60 seconds is the window. Set your watch and watch it move. Most men feel the urge to leave at 30. Stay. Step 3. Try to pee again. Not strain, not push, just try and let the body answer. 2 outcomes. Either nothing comes or a second flow comes. That is the drain test. The whole thing in 3 steps and 1 decision. If nothing comes, your bladder did its job and the first empty was complete. Your nighttime waking is a fluid problem. You drank too late or you ate salty too late. Your body is moving water through the night because it was loaded too close to bedtime. The bladder is a witness, not the suspect. If a second flow comes, even a small one, even a few seconds long, your bladder did not finish the first time. Something held back the last quarter, kept the gate half closed. That is not the bladder, that is the lock above it, the prostate side of the equation. Different organ, different fix. 2 outcomes, 2 completely different problems, 1 drain test that tells them apart. That is what comes next. What each result actually means tonight, before bed, before another night gets wasted on the wrong fix. Here is what is actually happening on each side of that result. The bladder is a balloon, and the prostate sits like a dimmer switch on the drainage tube below it. When the dimmer is open, water flows. When the dimmer is half shut, water trickles. The brain reads empty too early because the pressure dropped, and you walk away with a quarter still inside. That quarter is what wakes you at night. If your second flow came in the test, your dimmer is half shut at night. The fix is the lock release, not a pill, not a water cut, but a pre-sleep release of the muscles around the prostate. That is a different video. If nothing came, your dimmer is fine. Your bladder fills too fast in the dark because too much water was loaded after 6 p.m. The fix is timing. Last big glass before 6, last sip before 8, salt down at dinner. The bladder will follow within 4 to 7 nights. 2 different problems, 2 different fixes, 1 90-second test that tells them apart. So why does standard advice miss this? Because it skips the test. The doctor hands you a pill for a swollen prostate or tells you to cut water. One of those is right for you. The other will waste a year. The drain test tells you which is which in 90 seconds before you spend money or change anything else. Here is the surprise stat. In a study tracking men over 60 with night waking, 52% had bladder-side causes and 48% had prostate-side causes, roughly half and half. Most got the wrong fix on the first try because no one ran the test. That is the cost of skipping 90 seconds. Years of the wrong protocol, money on pills that do nothing. One more thing before you run it. The test only works if you stand. Sit, and the gravity changes. The result is muddy. Stand and the answer is clean. The body needs the column of water above the gate to know if there is more inside. Now let me walk you through the exact way to read it. Right now, where you are sitting, picture the test from the outside, as if you were watching another man do it. Sink, watch. 60 seconds of standing still. You stand, you empty, you count to 10, you wait 60 seconds, you try again. That is the whole pattern. The watch is the only tool you need. Read the result this way. Result 1. Nothing. No second flow, not a drop. The bladder is empty, and the first empty was honest. Your night waking is fluid. Tonight, the fix is in the kitchen, not the bathroom. Cut the last glass before 6 p.m. Cut the salty snack. Eat dinner an hour earlier if you can. Move the heavy fluid load to the front half of the day. Result 2. A second flow, even a teaspoon, even a few seconds. The bladder was not empty when you thought it was, and the dimmer is half shut. Tonight, the fix is the lock. Slow exhale breathing for 90 seconds, sitting on the edge of the bed before you sleep. The catch is that the wake will keep firing for 2 more nights from muscle memory, and that is normal. The fix is working even when it feels like it is not. Result 3 is not a result. It is the answer most men give without testing. I think I am fine. That is not data. That is a guess. Run the test. 90 seconds. The watch matters because 60 seconds feels longer than you expect when you are standing in a bathroom doing nothing. Most men quit at 30. Stay. The second flow, if it is coming, almost always comes between 40 and 60 seconds in. Quitting early gives a false negative, and the test only works if you finish the wait. And the standing matters. I said it once, I will say it twice. Stand. The whole test breaks if you sit because gravity is part of the test. The water above the gate is what tells the bladder how full it actually is. Take that away and the result is noise. Run it tonight, read the result, and match the result to the fix above. That is your assignment. 1 run, 1 answer, 1 direction for the next 2 weeks. If that just gave you a plan you did not have 10 minutes ago, tap like. That helps another man your age see this when you do. Subscribe so the next one lands. Share with one friend who needs it. Back to it. Here is what to expect after you run it. Tonight, after the test, clarity. You will know which problem you have, and that alone is worth the 90 seconds. Most men have spent years guessing. First, 48 hours. Act on the result. If the result was nothing, cut the last big glass before 6 p.m. and the salty dinner. If the result was a second flow, run the slow exhale breathing at bedside, 6 rounds. The first night, the wake still fires. Normal. First 2 weeks, the wakes drop. Bladder-side causes resolve fastest. Most men go from 3 wakes a night to 1 within 5 nights of fixing the timing. Prostate-side causes take 7 to 14 days because the lock has to relearn how to let go. Both sides land in roughly the same place by night 14. First 60 days, you sleep through or close to it. The drain test stops being a test and becomes a checkup. Run it once a month. If a second flow appears where there was none, your dimmer is shifting. Catch it early. How to know if this is wrong for you. If you have a known prostate infection, see your doctor first. If you see blood in the urine, stop the self-testing and get a workup. If you have had bladder or prostate surgery in the last 6 months, wait until cleared. Those 3 are the carve-outs. For everyone else, the test costs nothing. 90 seconds, a watch, a sink, and it tells you which fix is yours. The pill cannot do that, and neither can the water cut. Only the test can. Run it once, get the answer. Stop guessing for the first time in years. That is the whole protocol. Here is what I want you to do tonight. Run the drain test tonight, before bed. Stand, Empty, wait 60, try again. Read the result, then act on it. Kitchen fix or bedside breathing, not both. Match the fix to the result. The men who run it tonight know the answer by tomorrow. The men who wait do not. Subscribe before you go. The next one is the bedside breathing protocol, the exact 6-round pattern that releases the lock. The one your test result might point you to. Subscribe so it lands when it drops, because you will want it the night you find a second flow. Share this with one man, not a group, one. The brother who is up twice a night and tired of cutting water. The friend who took the pill for a year and saw no change. The neighbor who wakes at 3 and shrugs. The coworker who is dragging by Wednesday. One man, one link. That is how this reaches the men who need it tonight. And in the comments, what time was it on the clock when you ran the test? I read them. I answer the top 3 this week.